everyone, and welcome back to Crit D&D's Ravion campaign. The last time that we left off, our party had spent the evening in the elven village of Thala, where they spent a night of celebration, drinking, and playing games. After the long evening of drinking and merriment, they returned to Lemba's old home to sleep the remainder of the night away, having an odd shared dream of a world of mist and haze with a massive gray-skinned humanoid with burning red eyes shifting blurry in and out of focus within the mist. A shared dream, the party was all consciously aware of each other, and Lothric, in an effort to hear this mysterious creature's words, attempted to cast comprehend languages, before a pounding force drove into his skull with each syllable, causing him to bleed from his ears, nose, and eyes. Now the party awakes in Thala, safe in their beds where they pick up for this next chapter of our story. X, being the first to awake, took a moment to burst into each person's rooms to show off her new opal tortoise, gained at the store the day prior. The small opaline tortoise was promptly named Bismuth the Bloodthirsty, or Biscuit for short, with the young dragonborn immediately falling in love with the creature. The remainder of the party slowly came to with gently pounding headaches from the night before, and as they began their slow start to the day with breakfast, the party sat in the common room as they discussed their odd dream, each person taking a moment to share their own perspective and tell the party about their past dreams to some respect. Sudi, however, being reluctant to share much about her dreams, was pressured by the group, with Lemba being a bit more frustrated with Sudi's unwillingness to share, took a moment to attempt to probe her mind. Utilizing her newfound psionic power, she probed the surface thoughts of Sudi Velignacia. If they knew how close they had come, it would be bad, was all she got. Intrigued, she probed deeper, hoping to gain more information about this. Sudi, however, registered this probing and resisted her influence, before angrily slapping Lemba for the attempt. As the two argued, X tried to separate the two, taking a moment to share that she wants the party to be her new family. She wants to regain the family she feels she's lost, hoping the party will be her family now. A soft side to this otherwise gruff and brooding dragonborn. Sudi took a moment to admonish her, sending her dejected across the room to watch her turtle. In an effort to clear up the discussion from deception, Serenity cast Zone of Truth, ultimately affecting everybody except for Jade and X. And for the 10-minute duration of the spell, the party interrogated Sudi and learned about her relationship at this point with the goddess, the Crimson Tactician, and learned of the dream that she had in Fallfield where she killed the party in an attempt to please her. This dream that happened the night that they all awoke covered in blood. Ultimately, the party took more time to discuss this after the Zone of Truth, settling on forgiving their feline companion Sudi. But before the Zone of Truth ended, they did take some time to explore a number of other party members' secrets. Lemba shared quite a bit about being a Nephilim, specifically her concerns about people potentially wanting to kill her if she were ever to find out about her true nature. In the past, she had heard stories of mysterious and odd tieflings that have snapped and wreaked havoc in their hometowns, and based on everything she knows, she has to assume that these tieflings are actually Nephilims misidentified. Jade discussed her odd nature as something, but more importantly, details around the creature that haunts her dreams, the humanoid skull with tentacles dotted with red eyes. And finally, knowing that he was unable to lie, Lothric tried to deflect any questions coming his way by pressing more and more questions back onto Lemba about being a Nephilim, until everybody got wise to his effort and turned the questioning to him about his goals and why he would ask the Elders of Thala for more information on vampires. He was reluctant to say much, but he did reveal that he suspects someone important to him is in some way connected to a vampire clan in the Shadowfell. After this meeting, as the party prepared to leave, Lemba met with her uncle and cousin, who was tending to his father, saying goodbye before hitting the road to continue their journey to the city of Moonshade. On the road, the party elected to attempt to cut through the forest rather than backtrack to the roadway, hoping that it would be faster. Successfully avoiding getting lost, they took stock of their map and navigated themselves through the tall redwood trees and hills toward the city of Fargharde. Unfortunately, not noticing that there was something stalking them during the first leg of their journey. The party then continued to make their way through the forest, leaving behind the giant moss tortoises and entering a much more damp environment full of moss. The trees grew shorter, and the squishy moss bed crunched beneath their feet, almost like a foam. Walking through the trees over the squishy bed of moss, the party did successfully notice their stalker this time, as Sudi noticed a massive clawed hand slowly curl back behind a nearby tree. Immediately, she cast a silence spell centered on herself, creating a 10-foot area of just silence. And through the telepathic communication of a few individuals within the party, they elected to run. As they ran, they watched as a large green figure with greasy, stringy black hair peeked out from behind a tree before lurching out to the place that they had just been, as if searching for them. As they ran off within this zone of silence, the creature turned, seeing them sprinting off through the forest, and roared an unheard roar as the party sat within this zone of silence watching the creature begin its pursuit. Thinking fast, Serenity cast an invisibility spell on X the Dragonborn rogue before rushing forward up the trail and summoning a peace spirit between the party and the creature. While X snuck off to the side of the trail to lie in wait for the creature, Lumba stepped off to the side, sprouting demonic bat wings before leaping into the air and casting a moonbeam spell down onto the creature, causing silvery radiant flames to erupt around it. Jade followed suit, rushing to the side on the ground beneath Lumba and casting another spell that draws energy from the plane of dreams called Somnus Zone, making the area around the creature shine a purple radiant energy. Lothric took some shots with his spells at the creature while using a blood curse on it, called Curse of Bloated Agony. And taking a few hits overall, the party relied on the sacrifice of X and Lothric as they stabbed into the creature and suffered a blowback of poisonous blood spray that hurt them with each melee attack they made. With Serenity and Sudi healing them as much as possible, the battle was finally finished by X's clever use of Lumba's Earthbind, X's Firecracker, and finally Serenity's Peace Spirit, gently putting the troll creature to sleep before it was finished off by an almost merciful attack. Looting the creature, Lothric and X collected 5 vials of venom troll blood and a handful of claws before the party took a short rest to recover from the battle. Lothric collected a pouch attached to the creature's brown loincloth, which he just also collected. As the party sat quietly in the moss after the battle, they took a moment to examine a nearby deer skull hung peculiarly by a nearby tree, before collecting it and using a mage hand to hold it, as each attempt to physically touch it ended with a cold chill just before it touched the beach bone. In taking more time as they continued to walk, they investigated the skull more particularly and closely. The party realized that these skulls had carvings in the bone. And as they looked closer into it, Jade, staring into the eyes of this skull, saw the eyes flash a red and then go back to dull. Sudi, finding another skull, investigated this one as well, recognizing it as a symbol of the cult of worshippers of the Creeping Killer, a god of fear and death. This cult of seemingly cannibal worshippers seems to have placed these skulls around the area in an effort to identify and keep track of people for some reason. Rushing onwards, the party began to hear ominous voices coming from the woods behind them, and the sound of people pushing their way through the trees after them. The party ran through the woods, fleeing these cultists in an effort to escape to the city of Fargharde before the massive city gates closed for the evening, trapping them on the road with their pursuers. Reaching the gates just as they began to close, they hailed the guards who rushed out to protect them from the unseen threat before slamming the portcullis down behind them, now safe within the gates of the city of Fargharde. Choosing to find a place for the night, the party chose to get rooms at the Jade Goblet Tavern and Inn, a very well-off establishment where wealthy merchants and business people stay as they travel between the Grassbend region and the Lachlan Majocracy. With Jade and Sudi sharing a room, Lumba and Lothric sharing a room, as well as then X and Serenity sharing their own room for the evening, they found sleep in the safety and warmth of the Jade Goblet Tavern. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of our Ravion campaign. Stay tuned for more episodes. Next time we'll cover Session 13. And remember, it doesn't take much to make a difference out there in the world, so be the difference that you want to see. Remember as well, subscribe if you like the story so far. Ring the bell because you'll get updates on when we post the next video. Keep in mind, there are ciphers that are within each video, and if you can solve them, leave your answers in the comments. Let me know what you think. It'll help give you insights on the rest of the story so far. All that being said, I will see you all in the next video for Session 13. Bye.